Like I said, in 2013 was meant to fix the inefficiency in the power sector. Instead, it exposed deeper problems, and that problems we have not been able to solve all this while. I mean, you can see from the graphics on your screen, talking about the sector debt crisis. Now, the debt is put at more than 4 trillion naira are being owed to power companies. I know recently the federal government of Nigeria did something in that regard, trying to offset this debt as well. But let's look at the before and after. That's before the privatization and after. Now, the privatization, like I said, occurred in 2013, but before then, we had 2013 promise, stable power, private investment, and of course, efficiency. Now, for those who did business back then, you will agree with me that before 2013, we had stable electricity distribution. Now, I can attest to that because in 2012, in 2011, 2012, where my former place of residence, I enjoyed stable electricity. I remember when there's a power outage, it won't even take up to 3 minutes and the power is back, and it stays for that long. Now, we're not saying that. Well, we'll come to this reality. What about private investment? We saw before the privatization that private investment enjoyed a lot. There were not much issues about debt crisis as it were before the privatization. What about efficiency in the power sector? There was efficiency. I mean, you could call on the power authorities where you have issues relating to power outage, and boom, they will just come and definitely fix issues. Could be a dying transformer or an obsolete transformer, and it can be changed or maintained very well. But let's look at after the privatization in 2013. Today's reality. Could we say that we're having stable power supply? There's frequent outages as we speak right here. Even where we are operating from, is not even on the national grid. We are running on a private electricity distribution right here. So there's frequent outages. I mean, recently we've seen how different states, different communities in some states have, protested about the outages, the continued outages of electricity. What about the debt crisis? Talking about the power sector, they are, ridden, so into debt right now. I know, like I said earlier on, the federal government is doing something to offset that debt crisis. But then again, that's what we've been experiencing after the privatization took place in 2013. What about efficiency? Well, there's been a lot of inefficiency and, of course, losses in the power sector. So it's a decade of reforms, no doubt about that. But has there been anything to show for it? Little, I must say, that we are seeing. Well, some persons would want to argue that recently there's been some improvement in power distribution to the consumers, but it's not evenly spread. I remember there was a time they came up with the different bands, band A, band B, band C, band D, just sounded like bandits in my ear. But all of that as well, even with all of those different bands, we're not having, frequent or stable power supply. But let's go away from that particular issue. Let's look at the tariff problem, because I said earlier on in the previous segment that we'll find time or to look at the tariff, how these tariffs are being carried out by the distribution companies. So tariffs historically are too low to sustain operations. That's coming from the power sector, that the tariffs historically are too low to sustain operations, and that's why they keep increasing tariffs as they, I don't want to say as they like, but that's how they increase from the public. They will say arbitrarily. But let's look. Tariffs do not cover costs. Let's break down this thing very well so that you understand that tariffs do not actually cover costs. Revenues fall short of the real cost of generation, delivery, and gas supply. Now, it was very interesting to note that the power sector was being owed before now about 6 trillion naira. And you want to be wondering, where is that coming from? But that's how consumers have been using electricity without paying all of that. And of course, there's different sources of getting electricity down to the consumers. One of them is, the usage of gas. We have to obtain gas from the gas firm that or gas companies that want to supply gas to the generating companies and all of that. So revenues fall short of the real costs of generation, delivery, and of course gas supply. But let's look at the power sector as being strong is only as strong as its weakest payment link. Like I said, the money should flow from the government down to the discos, from the discos to the gencos, and from the gencos to the gas suppliers. Okay, so we'll break it down. Government provides subsidies, interventions, and tax support to keep the system running, right? Okay. Now, delayed or insufficient funding from the government as a result of budget delays and inadequate funding can disrupt payments down the chain. All right. Now, when you delay that amount to the discos, revenue collection becomes a big challenge because there'll be low collections due to low tariffs. Remember, because of subsidies and support from the government, there'll be theft and there'll be inefficiencies as a result of that delayed or insufficient funding. And what happens from the discos? Payment delays bring about discos delay payments to gencos and suppliers due to cash flow issues. So unpaid invoices that will bring about accumulated debt to gas suppliers that threatens supply and operations. Now the discos here means the distribution companies. Okay. Now for the gencos, these are the generating companies. So the discos have to pay the gencos. The gencos have to pay for gas supply. So when cash flow strains from the gencos, or when gencos struggle to cover operating costs, maintenance, and investments, then there's problem down this link. So supply at risk coming from the gas suppliers face liquidity pressure leading to reduced supply and reliability. Now, in all of this, what we have been saying is that if there's a break in this chain, then you will definitely see problems in the power sector. Okay? That's what we are just saying. The impact is that there will now be unreliable power supply. There will now be poor maintenance and investment in the power sector. There will be growing debt across the value chain. Like I said, if there's delay, you don't pay enough, it gets from the gencos to from the discos to the gencos, and then from the gencos to the suppliers of the gas. Debt will just be growing across the value chain. And then who suffers? The consumers. And of course, it affects the economy, which now slows down. So what we're trying to say here is that for sustainable tariffs, listen, discos cannot recover costs. The discos, they cannot recover costs. Gencos are not paid. So if the discos, like I said earlier on, if the discos don't pay to the gencos, the system becomes what? Financially unstable. And of course, a lot would go really, really bad. And of course, the supply chain will be broken. The consumers will continue to experience, power outages. So receivership crisis, multiple discos under receivership. Well, let's look at something before we go for another break. the meter issue, the debt meter issue. Now, like I said, the debt keeps rising, no doubt about that. The system keeps struggling. Sometimes you want to think that it is the power sector or the Gencos or the discos that are the problems. The problem of what we're facing today. But remember, privatization transferred ownership, not efficiency. So it was all about government saying, you know what, take over and do your thing. It's all about ownership transfer. That's what the privatization talked about. But what we're now saying is that efficiency has been a very, very big problem. All right. So the sector debt, like I said, approximately about 4 trillion naira and still rising. Like I said, the government have found a way of doing some certain business to offset that debt. But look at the multiple discos under receivership. Discos under receivership like the KE, which is the Kano distribution company there, the EEDC in Enugu, the IBEDC in Ibadan. We have the one from JOS, JOS from JOS, the BEDC in Benin, and of course for Yola, we have the YEDC. These are the different discos under receivership. And receivership is a symptom, not the solution. They cannot solve. Listen, and that's why when I see people protest to the BEDC or any of these discos, I just look at them and say, look, you know what? They are not even the problems. I think people are getting to realize that it is not the distribution company that is the problem. It is from the generating companies, which is the Gencos. That's where, and the Gencos will tell you they are not even the problem as well. So there's massive debt burden over, like I've said, over 4 trillion naira in accumulated sector debt and obligations, where the federal government is doing something about that. Long payment delays from discos who owe Gencos, gas, and of course Gencos to gas suppliers, and then TCN causing a broken chain, like I said earlier on. Impacts everyone, no doubt about that. Less investment will be part of the impact. Poor service, higher cost, and of course the economy getting weakened. Consumers pay the price because at the end of the day, you see the arbitrary, the kind of billing system that comes on. Unreliable power supply is the major thing that consumers face. There's much blackouts and poor quality service. So until debt is resolved, the power sector will remain, stuck, and that's exactly what's going on. So the only way forward is just to fix the finance of the power sector, and then you get the power sector fixed as well. All right, like I said, privatization transferred ownership only, not efficiency. So where we are seeing high debt, weak collection in terms of low revenue recovery, and of course poor billing system, broken chain, value chain, and operational inefficiency, all of these are what we are now seeing after privatization. All right. Before we go on this break, I also want to talk on briefly on subsidy burden, where government spent approximately 200 billion naira monthly. Very historical. And I think the federal government is saying that, you know what, just like what they did in the energy sector, they also are saying they want to pull their hands off when it comes to subsidy in the power sector. All right, so there's scale imbalance, there is cost reflective tariff, and of course subsidy burden. So the government will be looking at that level. Privatization, like I said, without structure is equals to systemic failure. No structure after privatization, and that's the reason why we're saying the system is failing. So instead of fixing, like I said, the sector, privatization created a cycle of debt, inefficiency, and underinvestment. We'll go for another quick break, and this time when we return, we'll be looking at the real barriers and the way forward in the power sector. Stay with us.
Welcome to DERSAG Engineering and Services Limited. We hold several specialized permits with the Department of Petroleum Resources, are accredited with service and product codes by NIPEX, certified by Dun & Bradstreet, and proudly ISO 9001:2015 certified. Our areas of expertise cut across critical sectors, including manpower sourcing and supply, engineering services, construction and fabrication works, specialized procurement and supply, operations and maintenance services, and integrated marine services, delivering supply boats, crew boats, tugboats, barges, houseboats, and speed boats. At DERSAG Engineering, we are committed to quality, safety, and timely delivery, ensuring that every project meets and exceeds expectations. DERSAG Engineering and Services Limited, your trusted partner in delivering world-class engineering and energy solutions.
All right, thank you for still being with us. This is Money Market, and we've been looking at the power sector, how it is that electricity still remains unstable despite privatization. Now, before we end on the break, we said we'll be looking at the real barriers and the way forward. All right, so let's look at some structural issues and, of course, some emerging solutions to the problem as they were. Now, the core challenges in the power sector, I know I touched on some of them in the previous segment. One of them is aging infrastructure. Now, a situation where we see some of the facilities that are even older, as old as more than 40 years in some cases, is appalling. So aging infrastructure we've seen. There are some high tension wires that we also see in the in urban areas, not really good at all. Now, of course, grid collapses with over time, and in fact, in 2025 we saw the grid collapsing like every other day. I know I'm exaggerating it, but it looks like every other day grid collapses, and you can see from the slide how this grid is collapsed. But just a little fun where in our local parlance we say the grid was dancing Django Lover, or just throwing rope and just jumping up and down. I saw that in social media a time where somebody was describing the frequent grid collapses in Nigeria. What about vandalism? People, will go to installations and steal, facilities. And I know some persons have been pointing in the direction of staff of some of these distribution companies. But I don't want to go into all of that, but there's been vandalism, and in some places, maybe if you've noticed it, you can see that some of these facilities are being protected under a lock and key just to avoid that vandalism. What about policy inconsistency? We've seen from the different governments in Nigeria how they've come up with different policies on the power sector, not really helping. Very, very inconsistent, those policies, and they've not helped the power sector. So these are some of the core challenges in the power sector. Now, let's look at the core problems when it comes to the grid. Now, the grid, like you see in the left hand of these particular graphics, how it's collapsing. Let's talk about this grid. There is poor power, there is infrastructure gaps, there is policy inconsistency, and there is high costs. Now let's break this down. Poor power. When the grid is down, where, how will I put it now? where we have problem with the grid, I mean, when you say there's grid collapse again, happening, and so for some time we won't say like that's what we're saying. Poor power, there'll be power outages for a while. Now, there's this infrastructure gap. Remember when I talked about the challenges, the core challenges in the power sector, I said aging infrastructure, right? So infrastructure gaps where we do not have modern infrastructure in the power sector also is a problem, a core problem. Then, like we said earlier, on policy inconsistency and high costs of maintaining these facilities. All right, let's go away from that one. Just to let you know that Nigeria's grid is fragile. And that's why we keep hearing that there's another national grid collapse. All right, and this is not really good, and it's increasingly unreliable. Just to let you know there. All right, let's look at the economic loss when it comes to a loss of power, as it is the cost of power failure. Let's look at the cost of power failure. Now, we are told, by the World Bank that $29 billion is lost annually in Nigeria. That is huge. Power shortages, this outage of power and what have you, cost Nigeria approximately $29 billion every year. That's crazy. All right? And they say the future is decentralized. The time to act is now. This is the message we have been hearing for years. The time to act is now. The time to act is now. Well, we're not seeing anything. I remember the president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, once said during his campaign in 2023, 2022, 2023, that, power is something that he will work on, he will fix. And if he doesn't fix it, when it's coming for his second term, Nigerians should not vote him. Anyway, I don't want to go into politics because that one is not taking me to politics. But let's go away from there. That is another dimension of systemic failure from this sitting government. Okay, this ruling government. All right, let's look at the trend, the new trend when it comes to decentralization. Now, power is moving closer to the people. No doubt about that. Smarter, cleaner, like I said earlier on, green energy, more resilient. When we say power is moving closer to the people, it means the people are now generating power by themselves. Now, from the graph or the picture you see on the right hand of your screen, you can see that there's a unit, a compound, a building, a housing unit in the middle of it all. And you see solar, mini grid, battery storage, commercial and industrial solutions, smart management. Now, all of these are smarter, cleaner, and more resilient way of producing or generating electricity for self instead of depending on the national grid that has failed Nigerians more than, any other thing in this country. And, where there is lack, or where there is poor power, it affects the economy. It affects you and I. The businesses, the manufacturer, the what's it called now? The industries, everywhere is affected. And so the new trend when it comes to decentralization, because the decentralization before now has been the discos that I talked about earlier on, how we had the different discos in the different regions in Nigeria. But now, most persons, okay, let me know you say most persons, more people are now moving in the direction of creating electricity for themselves. What is the new model? The new model, decentralized power future. All right, so for this new trend, for instance, this is economic loss, by the way, to the power sector, because when people start drifting towards, getting green energy for themselves, is bringing loss to the power sector, especially to the national grid and all of that. Okay, so let's look at the new model, the decentralized power future. Like I said, now this is just part of it. We have, like I said, Nigeria may be moving away from a single national grid toward multiple power markets. Now, there are different states that are coming up with, trying to come up with independent power grid, okay, mini grid as it were. Now, you can see from the map of Nigeria, we have the Kaduna State grid, we have the Kano mini grid, Borno solar systems are there, the FCT smart grid, okay, inclusive of the one the federal government did now in Aso Rock. Oyo mini grid, we have the Enugu solar systems and Lagos independent grid. Now, more states are coming in from one grid to multiple power markets. So for the state grids, states are building independent power systems to meet local demand. We heard of Edo and Delta states also trying to partner with the power sector locally in the states. We have mini grids like community and regional mini grids delivering reliable and affordable electricity. That one has to do with what's it called now? Some communities or estates, as it were, especially you find that in Lagos and the FCT in Abuja. All right, so what about solar systems, which, like I said earlier on, is getting now common? Solar adoption is accelerating across homes, businesses, and industries. All right, so these are the new norm, the decentralized power future that we're seeing, the new model of state, of power shift, not only in states, but also for households as well. So Nigeria may be moving, like I said, away from a single national grid toward multiple power markets, and we're beginning to see all of that. Now, the renewable target is another thing that we can look into. There is renewables projection of 36% by 2030. So we're looking at 36% of the population of Nigeria going into green energy or reliable energy as it is. So Nigeria, like I said, shifting towards that level. Now you can see from the pie chart in front of you, 28% is going to natural gas. Now we're looking at renewables now. 28% is going to natural gas, 20% is going to hydro, which we've been using for years, 10% coal, 6% oil. You know, the oil, talking about your fuel, your diesel and what have you. Then the renewables are the ones taking the large chunk in this pie chart. This is just the renewable mix. So 36% renewables is the target, the projected target for the year 2030. 36%. By then, all of these other sectors or influences would have shrinked. All right. So this is all about a cleaner, more resilient, and diversified energy future for Nigeria. That is the main goal, especially when it comes to the renewables. All right, and so Nigeria's power sector is not failing because of one problem. It is failing because of many interconnected problems, and we've seen all of that. So let's just look at how these whole things pan out when it comes to generator noise, solar powered home. When you put that vis-a-vis, like I said, that 6% on oil is on your generating set. You're powering your generator. So you want to compare the two futures or with one choice. Generator noise on one side, solar powered home without noise on the other hand. Which one would you prefer? The generator that even while you're sleeping, it can just go off because you don't have enough money to, fuel the generating set, or the renewables that are talking about your solar-powered home that that when it's fully charged, you can enjoy all through the night if the national grid is not bringing power to you. So, two futures, one choice, and the generation is weak. All right, so like I want to finally conclude by saying that transmission is limited. Now, talking about the national grid now, talking about generation of electricity from the power sector, transmission is limited. Distribution is inefficient, and the system itself is financially unstable. So, like I said, privatization changed ownership, but it didn't fix the power issue. This is where I draw the curtain on today. Before we go, just to let you know that you can follow us and, of course, reach out to us via any of the digital platforms you are seeing on your screen. All right. Thank you so much for being part of the show. We'll come again with another exciting and informative topic next time we see. Until then, stay blessed.
Welcome to DERSAG Engineering and Services Limited. We hold several specialized permits with the Department of Petroleum Resources, are accredited with service and product codes by NIPEX, certified by Dun & Bradstreet, and proudly ISO 9001:2015 certified. Our areas of expertise cut across critical sectors, including manpower sourcing and supply, engineering services, construction and fabrication works, specialized procurement and supply, operations and maintenance services, and integrated marine services, delivering supply boats, crew boats, tugboats, barges, houseboats, and speed boats. At DERSAG Engineering, we are committed to quality, safety, and timely delivery, ensuring that every project meets and exceeds expectations. DERSAG Engineering and Services Limited, your trusted partner in delivering world-class engineering and energy solutions.
Stop everything. Something wonderful is about to happen.
It's 7 days of glory.
See what the Lord has
The
done.
Redeemed Christian Church of God, Champions Cathedral Family, Delta Province 20, invites you to her 10th year anniversary celebration. Theme: Wonderful. 7 power-packed days of miracles, worship, divine encounters, and life-transforming ministration from the 22nd to 28th of June 2026. Time: 4:30 p.m. daily.
Ministering Bishop David Abioye, Apostle Joshua Selman, Apostle Michael Oroko, Pastor Isaac Oyedepo, Pastor Poju Oyemade, Pastor E.A. Kalajaye, and Pastor Olufemi Olumide. Hosts: Pastor Emmanuel Efe Emefenem, Pastor in charge RCCG Delta Province 20. Ministering in songs are renowned gospel music ministers Chioma Jesus, Nathaniel Bassi, Dusin Onyeko, Mercy Chinwo, Mr. M and Revelation, Chinyero Doma, Moses Bliss, Bidemi Olauba, Bukola Beckers, BJ Sachs, Lillian Neji, Sumisola Okeleye, Judy K, Femi Okonuga, Myro Essie, Deshola Akimbuli, Abe Ojomo, Ima Oh My God, and the Champions Voices.
Don't miss the explosive praise night on Friday, 26 June by 6 p.m.
And the Grand Thanksgiving finale on Sunday, June 28th. Venue: RCCG Champions Cathedral Main Auditorium, Plot 16 to 18, Airport Road, Efru, Delta State.
Don't be told. 7 days of glory.
Wonderful.
Pardon me, stop what you did do first. Something wonderful will soon happen for Niger. And now the 7 days of glory 2026.
See what the Lord has
Yes,
done.
so the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Champions Cathedral Family, Delta Province 20, they invite you come her 10th anniversary celebration. When carry the team, wonderful. This now 7 power-packed days of worship, divine encounter, and life-transforming ministration from 22nd go jam 28th of June 2026. Time now 4:30 p.m. daily. Ministering Bishop David Abioye, Apostle Joshua Solomon, Apostle Michael Oroko, Pastor Isaac Oyedepo, Pastor Poju Oyemade, Pastor E.A. Kalajaye, and Pastor Olufemi Olumide. Host: Pastor Emmanuel Efe Emefenem, Pastor in charge, RCCG Delta Province 20. Ministering in songs: Chioma Jesus, Nathaniel Bassi, Dusin Onyeko, Mercy Chinwo, Mr. Emma Revelation, Chinyere Udoma, Moses Blaze, Bidemi Olauba, Bukola Beckers, BJ Sachs, Lillian Neji, Simisola Agbebi, Judy K, Femi Okonuga, Mario Essie, Deshola Akimbole, Abe Ojomo, Ima Oh My God, and the Champions Voices. Make you not forget the explosive praise night when go shele on Friday. Friday, June 26, time 6 p.m. and the grand Thanksgiving finale when go shele on Sunday, 28 June. Venue, RCCG Champions Cathedral Mega Parish, plot 16 to 18, Airport Road, Eperon. No wait, me dey yarn you about this better event. 7 Days of Glory 2026. Wonderful.
Monday, Tuesday, you coming with a scene. Ay. Thursday, you gon' meet Baby King. Friday, I'ma see you to your knees. But on Saturday, we practicing the birds and the bees.
This is TVM. TVM delivers breaking stories, global headlines, and the moments that matter. From exciting sports action to exclusive local events, we keep you connected. Celebrate our culture, people, and voices with powerful documentaries and inspiring stories. Experience premium entertainment, from trending music to urban lifestyle and beyond. Grow your spirit with life-changing messages and uplifting perspectives. Lead the way with bold conversations, fresh ideas, and thought-provoking shows. Wherever you are, whenever you want, watch TVM on all your devices. TVM, your world, your network.
Hello, hi. Welcome to another exciting episode of On the Couch. I am super excited because today I always have amazing people with me in the studio. I always have sweet people with me in the studio. Of course, you know my name. I'm Mara Samuels. I'm your amazing host for this interesting episode on the couch. Okay, so today I have with me Tejiri Ekewe, and I have with me Olamileko. Hi, guys.
Hi, Maro. You look pretty today.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, so today we will be discussing something really interactive and interesting. So I'll urge my amazing viewers to drop your take. What's your take on the topic? And what is our topic for today? Well, we'll be talking about human etiquette. So drop your comments, your own contributions, your opinion of which of the human etiquettes or pet peeves do you think is, some kind of irritating, disgusting? How do you think people can do better? Well, as we progress on this episode, you will understand what we mean by that. So drop your comments on all our social media platforms displayed on your screen, the numbers as well displayed on your screen. I will be more than glad to read your comments in our very next episode. Okay, so guys, let's dive right into it. So talking about human etiquette and or pet peeves. What do you understand by pet peeves or human etiquettes?
Okay, I'll start with etiquette. Etiquette is like a very orderly manner of doing things.
Okay.
While pet peeves is something, little things that irritate you, that you don't like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How about you?
Basically what she said.
Oh no, we're not doing what she said here. We're not doing copy and paste. But well, yeah. I'll pardon that.
Okay, so etiquette, the definition of etiquette is the same. Basic human decency.
Yeah.
Then for pet peeves, they just have this away from over time, things we've normalized.
Right.
That are not quite decent.
Okay. So let's have one pet peeve from you.
Okay. Since I'm a man, let me start with my gender.
Yeah, let's start blasting your gender.
So for me, I would say urinating alongside the road.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
It's an habit that we formed in Nigeria, especially.
A very disgusting habit. Like
if you now go to the area where they are doing it, the smell.
the smell, like it just defaces.
So bad.
It just makes the whole place smell so bad, and ew. And then it has now gotten so bad that people now start writing on their wall, "Do not urinate. Do not urinate."
And they'll
here.
still go and
they will still urinate there. In short,
like, what do you want? I've done my business. What do you want to do?
It's as if people just look for where they write "do not urinate" and then that's where they will go to. I saw somebody. Look at what we have on the screen now. I saw somebody, just facing a wall where the road "do not urinate." And I was like, is it that people don't read, or people just want to be deliberate in their actions? Look at what we have here now. This guy is urinating. Okay, now let's talk on this. Let's talk on this graphic on the screen now, right? You see this guy talking to a lady. As a lady, Teji, let me ask you, before this graphic goes off, as a lady walking on the road with a guy, and the guy chooses to stop by to take a pee, would you?
I will give him his distance.
You will give him his distance, meaning you continue conversation from the distance, or you just
like, wait for me, okay.
Okay, because from what we saw on that graphic, the girl was obviously still talking to the guy, and some guys are so insensitive that, in short, it's even when they are even doing it, when they are weeing, that's when they want to talk to a lady or talk to somebody.
Wait now.
Even if it's your fellow man, why would you want to talk to somebody when you are easing yourself? Like,
no, you don't know.
And then you can see the guy behind them.
Yeah, and that guy, that's my reaction.
His facial reaction, like, what the
hell? The hell? And the girl just chilling there like nothing. She's not even scared of, okay, maybe it'll splash on her body.
And then even the smell, the odor of it, she's not even concerned for her health.
Don't even go there, please.
Ew. And because, that's so gross. That's so gross. Yeah. So you said urinating along the road as a man, and even women too urinate along the road. Yeah, women urinate. But we all know it's nature.
Like this.
It's nature. When nature calls, you gotta answer. So what do you think can be done or should be done in cases like this, where nature calls and you are obviously not in your house or you're not in a comfortable space to help yourself?
I feel like there should be a clean toilet for all these things. Even though it's public toilet, you can't exactly call it clean because you don't know what people have on their body to go inside the toilet. But at the very least, let's be clean.
Well, public toilet, like you rightly said, public toilet is public. Who really cares so much to keep it clean? So that means you're saying that necessary bodies should keep this public toilets clean.
Yeah, not just clean, not when you get in, you see water on the floor or the place is smelling. It's really disgusting.
So
like me,
if you were in a position where you get to a public toilet and it's so messed up, which would you prefer, using the public toilet or just going out there to use the road or the gutters? Which would you prefer?
I'd rather hold it too.
Can you really hold nature, especially when you're not close to the house?
Well, I'd rather hold it.
Okay, Lekon, what would you suggest?
Probably basically because talking about public toilets, we don't have those positions.
We don't have it, exactly. We don't.
So what do I expect from you as a decent human being to do this? When you are going out, you know you are going to spend a long day out there.
Yeah, salt.
Over time, you get. So just watch what you eat, what you consume, so that you not pollute the environment. Because at the end of the day, it's pollution.
Yeah.
And then even if you have to do something like that, don't do it in a public place. Look for somewhere
discreet enough.
And you know what pisses me off? Some people will now use those public toilets that are dirty already and just dirty the more. Like why?
That's another pet peeve that we can talk about. You know, messing up the toilet, whether public or private toilet. You messed up and you're comfortable enough to leave it like that, and you walk out whole, like you walk out a complete human being.
That means you not wash your bum or you not wash
even if some people, it's in them, it's their habit to mess up a toilet, whether urinating or you're using the other side, and you just leave it like that. It's in some people's lifestyle.
Waste in the toilet.
Yeah, and they ask for
I remember serious from camp.
That's so gross.
When you go for camp meetings and then there's not enough toilets.
Oh my
God!
Disclaimer.
I'm imagining it already.
Okay, so these are some pet peeves that humans exhibit that we really don't encourage it. I mean, it's really disgusting and really gross. And well, like she said, if you come across a public toilet and you're pressed, you should use the public toilet instead of, you know, messing up the road. And then, like Lekon has said, you should avoid consuming things with so much water, liquid, salt, and all that. If you're traveling, try to avoid consuming so much. But I would say, she's mentioned public toilets. He's mentioned trying to avoid consuming so much liquid and all. I would say, okay, in a situation where, you know, you're not close to where you're going to your destination and you are pressed, nature has called, you can look for a restaurant, you can look for a bank. At least these places have neat restrooms that you can use to eat yourself. It's still the hospitality center. You can go to a hotel, you can go to a guest house or something. Guest house, I don't know. But well, you can go to any of these nice places and just try to eat yourself. I mean, I one thing about humans or Nigerians that I understand is that when they see someone that's pressed, they try to render help. Yeah. You know, when you tell someone that you're pressed, you know, they try to break all kind of protocol for your sake to, you know, to help you, and then they can answer you, oh sir, you're not supposed to do this, but well, they've allowed you to ease yourself. Oh, that's really interesting. Well, yeah. So Teju, what other pet peeves can you think about?
A man that bleaches. Why you bleach?
A man that bleaches. Why? A bleaching man.
Why?
But women also bleach. Women also bleach. So why is the man's own? So
it's just why.
So you also attack Lekon's gender.
I'm coming first.
So why are you about men that bleach?
It's already annoying for a woman to bleach, and maybe for cosmetic reasons. But as a man, why?
Well, yeah, Sandra, Teju is asking you why. Why do you bleach? As a man, why do you bleach? Let's ask your gender for us. Why do they bleach?
The same reason women bleach.
Right, just that unfortunately some of them, they don't look pleasant.
When people started thinking of black as not beautiful, it's being fair that it's considered beautiful, being fair is attractive, so that's where the beauty came from. It's just a cycle standard. But please don't bleach. It's not good for your skin.
If a man or woman, don't bleach. Stop bleaching. Why are you bleaching?
Okay, I have a question about the previous pet peeve we spoke about, urinating on the road. What if you're traveling and of course there are no public toilets or restaurant in sight? As a traveler or as a passenger, what do you do?
Okay, so I think I want to go first.
Yeah.
Because I travel a lot, and then one thing I make sure I do when I want to travel is that I don't eat.
Right.
I wake up in the morning and until I get to my destination,
You don't
the
put
only
anything
thing
in
I
your
consume
mouth.
is water. And
Would
then
that make
even
you
when I'm
worse?
stressed, no, even when I'm pressed to urinate, I always wait for the right minute. So everyone will get to police station where we have to refuel.
Oh.
And simply excuse yourself and say you want to use the restroom.
Mm.
Instead of
Yeah,
stopping the bus
that's a
along the way.
valid.
And then with the insecurity in the country, it's not even advisable for
Right,
you
you
to
just stop
driver,
anywhere.
Driver, please stop. It's
And you could even be seen as a suspect, because if I with the insecurity now, somebody in the bus tell the driver to stop more than once or twice. Me, I'll look at you, okay, what's going on? You want to calm down? Should we run? Which one is this? What's going on? Yeah. So yeah, let's continue what we were saying. We were talking about what were we talking about? Yeah, bleaching men and bleaching women. And Lekon, you were saying men basically bleach because of the same reasons that women bleach for. So what's your take on that? So what do you have to say to men that bleach?
Just stop it. You don't need it. It's already annoying enough that women bleach. Don't join them.
And for women that bleach, because you don't talk about men. For women that bleach, please don't bleach. It's not good.
Oh well, yes, you've heard what they said. So what they said, I give to
people
you.
that bleach, they look worse in old age. Have you seen an old woman that has bleached most of her life and then she starts looking like overripe plantain?
Well, please try to avoid bleaching. All right. Yeah. So we'll go back to the next pet peeve, which is biting your fingernail. Is it hunger? Is it a habit? Is it that they feel like their nails are overgrown? Okay, look at what we have on the screen. Are the nails overgrown? Do you think your tooth or your teeth is the best manicure set? What do you think, Lekon? Why do you bite your nails? I'm just asking. Do you bite your nails? Why do you think people bite their nails?
Okay. I think basically for me, sometimes so sometimes it's boredom.
Boredom.
Yes. Boredom. It's just
I'm willing to see the point. Maybe because me, I don't bite my nails. The only time I've ever bitten my nails, like when I'm in school and my nails they've grown long, and then the teacher will make me bite it.
Oh yeah, and the teacher is
I hate
approaching.
it. I was just be looking at it, God, how will I bite it? How?
And then the person just get very for somebody like me, boredom is one. And then so I get very uncomfortable when my nails are overly grown.
Yeah.
So once I notice immediately.
Oh, this reminds me of
I just start even my toes. I can
Your toenails.
No, I use my finger.
Oh yeah, use your finger to pinch it out. But well, for some of us, for some people, we have manicure sets, but we believe for whatever reason that it's easier instead of going to stress myself and hurting myself in the process. My teeth can know which one is my skin and which one is my nails, so my teeth will just do the work for me.
I can't relate. It's not a bad habit of mine, so I can't relate.
Oh well, let me confess. Confession time. Me, I used to
confession.
I used to do it. I used to bite my nails, but guess what? I started fixing nails. Yeah. So that was one thing I had to do to make me stop biting my nails. So when I get bored,
hands on screen.
See how ugly it looks.
Biting the nails.
This person has something wrong with their nails.
No. Well, yes, from the index finger you can see more. But well, if you leave your nails, if you leave your nails and just let it grow or just let it be, it can be this healthy.
Yes.
On this other side. Yeah. So for me, the way I just had to tell myself, look, you have to stop biting your nails. I have to start fixing artificial nails, just so that when I put my hands and my finger to my mouth, and I remember. Aside that, and I remember, okay, there's something else on my nail, not my natural nail. I just control myself and just put my hands down. Yeah. So that's one way that I had to tell myself the truth. So
But which brings me to another pet peeve. See all these guys that they'll grow their nails and then they'll keep
a guy.
Oh, wait, I'm coming.
Come.
No, women don't do this one. This one is particular to men. Why you keep all the nails, or maybe they'll cut all of them, they'll not leave one to be growing? Like, what are you now?
Especially this last finger, they can't last finger. They like to leave. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to attack some set of people. instrumentalists, keyboardists,
Okay.
and bassists, leaders, whatever you are, a guitarist, why do they always leave their nails on? I mean, Lekon, you're in the music industry, so you should explain better to us. I don't know, but why do you think? Why do guys? Keyboardists, instrumentalists, why do they keep their nails long like that? This last one or this index
when they started doing it at first, when people around me started doing it, their reason was because they wanted to be able to remove their SIM. That was when you had those SIM ports where you can, when you use button phone now.
See, the nails are not even strong enough to do all of that.
That was the excuse they were giving at first. But
And they're usually ugly. They'll not start looking brown and reddish.
They don't clean
Yes, they'll not be very dirty and looking really.
something.
Everybody just keeping one, but it's not just men that do it.
Yeah, women also do it, but then some women, I have seen some women that keep long nails, but some will tell you, oh well, they used to use nail polish to, instead of fixing artificial nails.
Long one, that single long one.
Not single long one. They keep all their they grow all their nails and they'll tell you that they use.
I like when guys to do that.
I don't like a guy to keep long nails. I feel most women that I've seen.
I like when guys keep them and they keep them neat.
Most women I've seen, they usually keep theirs very neat. So when they are not on nail polish, you can see that this person
when they paint
is
you
very.
know that they fixed it.
Yes.
That's the part I like about it.
Also, as a person, why do you shoo loudly? Like you're showing, you're showing food and you're showing loudly.
Maro, have you seen a horse chew?
Oh please.
Have you seen a horse chew?
You shoo so loudly and you're just showing. You're just showing loudly. And somebody that's close to you can literally hear every single bite you're taking.
Every bite, every smack.
You don't look so funny.
I don't even know where I'll start looking like.
Children do love it because they've not really grown to understand that they should close their mouth while showing.
I'll not even look at them like that because they're I know.
Some adults should loudly.
I don't know when I'll pursue you from
And you always
like
do those kind of things in restaurants.
Restaurant.
Right.
They are never at home. You always do them in restaurants.
Like what do you mean they're never at home?
I hate it.
Like why are you showing loudly? And then some still talking about showing, some will be showing and their mouth is stuck with food and they're talking to you.
Like
okay, look at this
like
on screen now.
And he's trying to talk.
Like you have food. I can literally see the swallow and the soup in your mouth. Well, can you just finish eating? I mean, table manners says don't speak or don't talk while you're eating. Why do you have to defy? Oh, look at this.
No.
Why do you have to speak while you're eating? Why there's food stuck to your mouth? You look so.
I hate that.
You just look so.
I have these people that speak loudly. They always stop their mouth to speak more food. They like which is bad. It's not a good thing. Take a very little portion. If people do not want anyway, the plate is there. Take your time.
Oh wow, that's it. It's really disgusting and really gross. Okay, now we're done with shoeing. I mean, to the best of my knowledge, do we have any shoeing pet peeves? Again, yes, eating on the road. Why do people eat on the road? Who carry food pack of food and be eating on the road? They'll be like, how do you come up with such? Like, how does your brain understands that you're moving and you're still eating? How does your brain process it? Like it's really somehow you're eating and you're walking. Even though upon still, why would you be eating and you're walking on the road? It's not like you're in your private car or you are somewhere secluded. You are walking where people will see you and you're eating, and then most times they start eating and chewing loudly and just.
Am I the only one that hates this thing where somebody is talking and this thing is gathering by the side of the mouth?
Like when you're speaking. Such people they talk too much. Actually, when you're speaking too much and then start saying saliva at the side of their mouth. Like, what really is the problem? What really is the problem? And then for some ladies, they'll use lip gloss, and then you'll be seeing the mark of the saliva on their lips, and then they'll start having. Until you're beginning to talk too much, can you just clean yourself up?
Wrap it up. I'm not interested in this conversation.
Okay, we're still on pet peeves, right? But so let's talk about people that pick their nose.
Oh.
Why do you pick your nose in public?
I just go inside that place.
Either in the public space or the private space. Why do you pick your nose? Okay, we'll talk more on picking your nose when we come back from this really quick break. We'll be right back. Let's go on this quick break. Okay, yeah. Welcome back, guys. So yeah, we're still talking on pet peeves and human etiquette, right? And we've spoken a lot. We've talked about a lot. Urinating on the road, chewing loudly, chewing with your, talking with your mouth stuck with food, eating on the road, biting your nails, and then lastly, we're talking about what was it now? Picking your nose as a human being, as a child, as a child I can understand.
Yeah.
But it's,
children had a lot of
as a child I can understand, but as a human, as an adult, why do you pick your nose, even in the private or in public? I think the best way to do that is, I think the best way, like what we have on the screen now, you see a child. This obviously is a child, but we see humans that pick sorry, we see adults rather that pick their nose in the public or in the private. I think the best way to do that is, it's normal as a person to feel something going on in your nose. You just take your tissue or your handkerchief, a tissue because it's disposable. Take your tissue and just clean your nose yourself and just dispose it, and you wash your hands. Wash your hands. You cannot use your hand and pick your nose and use that same hand to come and shake somebody. It's not nice now. And you just spreading James and John.
To the first pet peeve that you mentioned, where guys take a piece on the road, like
right,
you now do like this.
And then you
are trying to call it
and then you that same hand, because people don't even remember to wash their hands anymore. People don't remember to wash their hands. That's what hand.
Fine, yeah. I say, no, I was walking on the road one day. This guy was taking a piss and he was trying to call me like, fine girl, what's up?
What's up that what happened? What's up that what? Did you lose your way, sir? What's up for that what?
I gave him. I said, come now. He was not doing like nothing. In a rush.
As a guy, I don't know why they do that.
Why?
There's no reasonable explanation for why.
Well, I think they gotta shake off the residue so that they don't have anything left to drop.
Next.
Yeah, so let's talk about sitting positions. You can see Tejiri, she's well seated, crossing her legs, and Lekon is well seated as a guy, and then I'm well seated as a lady. For some people, for some ladies, they tell you, I'm putting on a trouser now, so I can sit anyhow I like. Some with skirts or even gowns, they tell you, oh, you're a culprit. Some with gowns and with skirts to tell you, I beg, my laps are rubbing against each other. I cannot, I'm feeling heat. I want to sit down a bit so that I can be comfortable a bit.
Yeah, let breeze blow underneath.
Aside your privacy,
but when I'm outside, I try to control myself.
It's an eyesore. It's common sense to know that you should sit and close your legs. If you're wearing a skirt or a gown, close your legs. Your legs should be closed. Even if you're wearing a trouser, you can't sit and just wide your legs.
You can just cross your leg like how
some people cannot comfortably cross their legs. It's fine. Sit down, in a way that you are seated, your legs against each other. Not sit down and then you just wait. For some guys, Lekon, just help us talk about it.